Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin McCarthy is struggling to get the votes he needs to become Speaker of the House. Big challenge is from Andy Biggs, and Andy Biggs has 31 votes, Republican, from Arizona. And House Freedom Chairman Andy Biggs. Very important challenge to Kevin McCarthy. Hit subscribe to this channel, ladies and gentlemen. Share this segment everywhere because I'm going to explain exactly what will take place. Kevin McCarthy will very likely win Speaker of the House. The good thing, you might say, well, that's not a good thing. He's just going to be, an establishment Republican. We've already seen he's been pretty passionate and forthright and honest about investigating Hunter. I mean, it was like not even a day after they officially got 218 seats. A day after James Comer of the House Oversight Committee, like I said he would, conducted a huge press conference on exactly how they're going to impeach Biden. Nancy Pelosi also stated she wasn't going to impeach Trump. Okay? That proved to be nonsense, obviously. This is more so an act for media. So when McCarthy says, well, we're not really focused on impeachment now, he is, of course, focused on impeachment because even the never-Trumpers benefit. There are a number of political strategies at play here. Never-Trump Republicans, the ones that still exist in the Republican Party, the ones that still exist in the Senate, and the handful or so in the House, they're not going to be able to, you're not going to get 9 Republicans because the House will probably end up with 222 Republicans, okay? You're not going to end up with 9 Republicans, 8 or 9 Republicans that are going to vote not to impeach. Okay, at the end of the day, even the never-Trumpers, even publications that do amazing journalism, like the New York Post, who might not be, the biggest fans of Donald Trump, they investigate and they'll eventually back Trump if he's the nominee over, he will be the nominee, but when it's Trump versus pick a Democrat, the New York Post and the Wall Street Journal will eventually back Trump. Okay, it won't be DeSantis unless Trump decides not to run, which is he's already decided to run. So what's going to take place is they will impeach Biden. They will 100% impeach mashed potato brains Joe, without a shadow of a doubt. The good thing with Andy Biggs challenging McCarthy is that although McCarthy will very likely get the numbers needed, because if people just vote present, that actually limits the overall number of Republicans that have to vote for him. So it's kind of this convoluted process, but he just has to get a simple majority, and he'll probably have enough to get the simple majority needed. Okay, at the end of the day, because there's a slight chance. I don't even think there's even a possibility, but they were talking about how a Democrat or Liz Cheney could possibly become Speaker if Republicans completely tank it and, just refuse to vote for McCarthy. But see, that's not going to happen. Eventually, McCarthy will speak to Andy Biggs within the next, the vote is very soon. So probably within the next week or so, he'll speak to Andy Biggs. He'll speak to every one of the 30-plus Republicans who don't want him as Speaker of the House. And he'll say, look, I'll do exactly what we need to do. Impeachment is not just about showing the world the criminality within Biden's administration, the rampant graft. It's pretty obvious. The New York Post, the Federalist, the Daily Mail, even the Wall Street Journal. Well, the Wall Street Journal is great, but they have the same never-Trump mentality sometimes. But they do good investigative journalism. Okay, CBS News does. Catherine Herridge is amazing. But see, again, you have You cannot circumvent, even with people who like DeSantis more than Trump, you cannot circumvent the eventual impeachment. There will be a Republican Speaker of the House. Republicans control the House of Representatives. Walker will win, but even if he doesn't win, the impeachment comes from the House, and you still have a very thin, razor-thin majority. I just can't understand how a red state in Georgia would rather have a Democrat, seeing that we're heading into 23 with a looming recession, yet another recession. We had a recession in 21. We have a terrible geopolitics, a horrific invasion in Europe. This is under Democrats. Objectively, everything's worse. And so what Republicans have to do is the same things that their adversaries or their opposition, their competitors are doing. Whatever it is, you adopt the same strategy. Whatever strategies are working, you adopt those strategies. And there's nothing, because even with the strategies utilized, it's razor thin. They have all of media, including late night, and it's still razor thin margins. You have never Trumpers, and still Trump Republicans took over the House and almost took over the Senate and if it wasn't for Mitch McConnell giving $7 million to Lisa Murkowski, Trump Republicans would have already taken over the Senate, because Adam Laxalt and Blake Masters could have used that money. But he didn't. See, the thing is, look, instead of looking at it like, well, it's an uphill battle and everyone wants DeSantis now and goodness, nothing's ever going to change. No. You have to understand, one man, orange man, one mean orange person, one man who signed an executive order combating anti-Semitism on college campuses, Trump did, okay? Allocated more funding to historically black colleges and universities than any president ever. Made the funding permanent, Trump did. First president to step foot in North Korea. We had record highs in household median income with a record low in poverty in 2019. Trump is everything that a far left, morally superior, progressive, or socialist or communist would want. In terms of policies, we had an amazing economy that worked for everyone, every demographic group, the working class. If you care about the working class and that's the basis of your morality, then you should desperately want Trump, not mashed potato brains. Okay, yeah, you'll lose friends and family because they're ignorant pertaining to Hunter and the economy and foreign policy. They don't care about those things. They just care about rhetoric and image. That's why I like Trump. He's fantastic in a number of ways. And one of his Achilles heels, which is also a strong suit, he doesn't care about politics. He's not diplomatic. He doesn't do political things. And that's why people care about image more than actual substance in this country. If you cared about substance, you'd vote for Trump 10 out of 10 times. If you care about only image and not rocking the boat and not being seen as a bad person, then you'd reluctantly vote for mashed potato brains or a Democrat. Okay? But the thing is, people with critical thinking skills vote for Trump. They realize that the media has an agenda to distort and twist everything. That he didn't clear people at Lafayette Square for a photo op. He didn't work with the Kremlin. He didn't get advanced notification, or Don Jr. didn't get from emails that showed Bernie Sanders in his primary was cheated. Okay? When they suspended Twitter, the New York Post, they did so suspending a publication that did journalism that was reporting on a serious, real, legitimate story. It was detrimental to Democrats, and they suspended the publication, and then they got 50 intelligence officials to say, "Oh yeah, it's a plot by another country to tell you the truth about the Democratic Party. The truth about them is twisted and warped into a national security concern." When people say, "Well, it was good that the New York Post was suspended because Trump is a real big problem," what they're telling you is that with too much information about the Democratic Party, people will naturally gravitate towards Trump. That's what they're telling you. And that is the antithesis of democracy. Give me your thoughts below. Don't worry about Kevin McCarthy winning, because he's already done a pretty good job from what I've seen. I mean, it's pretty good. Investigations of Hunter FTX are already starting. And he will impeach Biden 100%. Give me your thoughts below. Thank you.